Hey friend, have you been hurt, betrayed, or abused in the past and struggle with forgiveness? Hang tight, because by the end of this video, I'm going to share with you 4 powerful insights that are going to help you even forgive the unforgivable. Before we dive in, I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I know that you are someone who is fully committed to doing the inner work to living your best life, all fueled by joy. You deserve happiness, joy, and peace, and all of it can be found right here on this channel. And each week, we deliver you a new personal development video to help you along the way. So make sure to hit the little bell so you're notified each and every time a new video drops. Before we dive into my 4 really powerful tips on how you can forgive the unforgivable, I want to share with you just how powerful these insights are. I personally had to practice them on my personal development journey to forgive some very unforgivable crimes. I was a child of sexual abuse. From the age of 8 to 18, I was sexually abused by a family member. And that pain of that betrayal was a ripple effect throughout my entire life. As a result, I found myself feeling worthless, not enough. I was then betrayed by my family, abandoned by my father, and all of these things just continued to perpetuate this belief that I wasn't enough. And that would then lead me down to a path of self-destruction, where I became addicted to drugs, in and out of jail, and hurt a lot of people. I share this with you because all of that pain and that hurt and the shame and the guilt and the regret used to define me. It would control me and my happiness and lack thereof. And through these insights and through this practice that I'm going to share with you now, I too was able to find forgiveness for myself and for others, to become emotionally free and to reclaim my joy power. So I want you to grab a piece of paper and a pen as we dive in, because this work works. All right, insight number 1 is to recognize that forgiveness is a practice you will need to do over and over again. I know how irritating this can be, being somebody who was on the short end of the victim stick. I didn't ask to be abused. I didn't ask to be abandoned. I didn't ask to be betrayed and neglected. And yet I'm the one that had to suffer through all of that pain, plus be left with the residual resentment and anger and hurt and sadness, and then be put in this belief of feeling worthless and catapulted on a path of dysfunction. I didn't ask for that. And it didn't feel fair that I had to do more work to just be normal, to just be happy. So first off, you totally okay that you feel that way, all right? In fact, when we dive into tip number 2, I'm going to talk about that. But right now, I want you to first get your head wrapped around this idea that this is a practice, and it is one that you absolutely going to do for yourself, because you deserve happiness. You deserve joy. And so you want to commit to doing forgiveness over and over again so that it's a choice that ultimately becomes a feeling. Now that'll lead me right into my tip number 2, was recognizing that forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. This is not something you are doing for someone else. It is not dependent on them forgiving you or understanding or even acknowledging that they did something wrong. A lot of times we're not going to get justice. And in fact, we have to go through all of this forgiveness work. It doesn't seem fair just to be able to feel happy, and they may already be out there being happy now. But get your mind wrapped around that this is a practice that you're going to do over and over again for your peace and your joy, because forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. All right, so before I get into tip number 3, I want to hear from you. Your opinion matters. So comment below and tell me, what do you think of these first 2 tips? And have you been practicing them, and how have they been working for you? Number 3, accept your feelings. It is okay to be angry. It is okay to feel shame or guilt or regret or frustration or hurt. Your emotions are a part of the process, and you want to acknowledge and learn to express them responsibly. But a lot of times we want to rationalize our thinking. We want to just jump to joy and happiness and feeling better. Or we find ourselves just wanting to stuff it down, numbing out, tuning it out, cutting it out so that we don't have to deal with it. These strategies will not work. You absolutely have to process your emotions, and it starts with acknowledging what you feel. And you do it responsibly. Powerful, responsible way is just to grab a piece of paper and word vomit all over it. You could write whatever you want, no matter how angry or resentful or bitter or ugly it is, because you shred it, burn it, bury it when you're done. It isn't something you give to somebody else. It is not something that you're doing for anyone else. Remember, forgiveness is something you do for yourself. And this is a powerful, powerful gateway that you have to walk through in acknowledging the true, raw, real feelings so that we can actually begin to heal from them. Ignoring them perpetuates it. Trying to just bypass them perpetuates it. We want to be willing to go through the motions. All right, so this leads me to my fourth and final insight, which is to not make forgiveness dependent on them. I cannot tell you how long I withheld forgiveness of them or myself, waiting for justice to be served. I fought and battled to have justice served. And in the end, I didn't get it. And unfortunately, that's common for a lot of us. And so how do we forgive the unforgivable? Is to recognize that our forgiveness isn't dependent on them. And it also doesn't mean that we're pardoning, condoning, or excusing them. In fact, Joan Baranco famously quoted, and she says that you can forgive someone and still show up and testify in court. It's because forgiveness is something you're doing for yourself so that you can be emotionally free, so that you can be happy, so that you don't have to feel haunted by the shame, the guilt, the regret, the anger that has been flooding and harbored in your heart and in your mind. You want to make your forgiveness about you, for you. And you can still hold them accountable. You can absolutely still testify. You can absolutely still hold them accountable and set boundaries or eliminate them from your life, right? Like those things are still okay. However, what's not okay is for you to stay resentful and angry, expecting them to finally get it and say they're sorry. There's an old saying in Buddhism that says, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and hoping the other person's gonna die. This strategy doesn't work. So you really want to wrap your head around these 4 insights so that you too can begin to forgive even the most unforgivable acts. To help you along your forgiveness journey, I have a couple things for you. Number 1, if you're really committed to truly forgiving the unforgivable, then you absolutely want to check out my Forgiving the Unforgivable course. It is a 6-part video series that is going to help you even forgive the most heinous of things and experiences in your life. It works. It has brought me so much joy and thousands of people that I've worked with as well. If you're ready to just start practicing right now, maybe just dipping your toes in the sand, then I want you to click the first link in the description below where you can get access to my forgiveness letter. This is the same letter that I used along my journey, and I've wrote thousands of them to help me be the version of myself I am today that is filled with joy and peace and happiness. So that is my gift to you. Just click the link and it'll take you to the page and we'll send it wherever you tell us to send it. Also, if you are really loving this community and you want to get more involved, then you absolutely want to check out our Rebels for Joy Facebook community. It is where powerful women who are committed to doing the inner work and to living the most joyous lives imaginable all gather. We do a lot of fun lives and interactions there, and we invite you to join our tribe. So just click the link below to join now. If you enjoyed this video, then you're absolutely going to enjoy some of our other forgiveness and boundary videos that are coming up next for you. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you never miss a beat, and be sure to share it with a friend because you're not the only one looking for change.